go. Let's go. Spring is sprung. Best wishes. Fun. Yes. Well. Beautiful. Yeah. Got it. Yes. Yes. So hot! Let's go. Yes? Clear the way!
Hello everyone, Guardian E here with another video on Fire Emblem Heroes, this time taking on the Saias Grand Hero Battle on Infernal difficulty. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things that you may want to keep in mind as you're approaching this particular Grand Hero Battle with your team. And then also just go over very quickly how I cleared it with my main Flyer team. So first things first, you do want to note that the Sword Cavalier here does have Pass, which it's usually not a very noteworthy skill at all, but when you have AI that's just kind of barreling through, and you're trying to position yourself to block off the enemy in certain ways, this can catch you off guard, so just bear that in mind. Note that this Sword Dragon does have Guidance, which will come into play later. That is always a threat, so you never know when an infantry unit will or armored unit, I should say, will teleport next to this Sword Dragon, so just be mindful of the spacing as necessary and you're making your approach. The Lance Knight has Wary Fighter, which is always a little bit annoying unless you're running Breaker skills or Quick Riposte, or really any other ability that can essentially break through the Wary Fighter effect. We have this Green Cavalier who has Chill Res 3, and obviously that is a map-wide effect. It inflicts -7 res on any of your units who has the highest res on your team. And I believe that's meant essentially to combo with Saias' ability, his War God's Tome, which essentially, it's a ploy ability. As long as he has res above the opposing unit's res in that cardinal direction, they'll be afflicted with a -4 attack and res debuff. So I think those two are intended to work in tandem. Obviously, he also has Speed Ploy, which also acts as a significant debuff. And this Bowfighter here has Guard, which, if you're relying on special proccing, could be a problem as well. So just be mindful of that. Additionally, they are all decked out with tactic skills, as you may have already noticed, which is interesting. So Intelligent Systems has clearly constructed this opposing team very carefully so that there's no more than 2 of any particular movement type, so that these tactic skills do go off. So with all of that in mind, the way that we're going to approach this, we're going to go ahead and swap in the beginning, move Spring Camilla to the left and New Year's Camilla to the right. So this Sword Cavalier is sticking his neck out a little bit too far for his own health.
Ooh, so
we're just going to use
hot.
Summer Corn to go ahead and take him out on the first turn. And the strategy that we're going to be employing, we're just going to be taking out a single unit and backing up to safety until they've pretty much overextended and are all within threat range. So we're just going to go ahead and reposition Summer Corn back to safety. New Year's Camilla is fine here. She's going to tank a hit from this Grand Blade Cavalier. And opposite that weapon triangle, that should not be a problem, even with the debuffs in play. And we're just going to let Hinoka and Spring Camilla sit pretty over here. Okay, great. So right now, we can go ahead and just safely take out this Green Cavalier with New Year's Camilla. She unfortunately does not proc the Gale Force, but we can go ahead and still reposition to safety. So we're just going to do that now. Reposition using Summer Corn. We will further reposition again using Hinoka. And then we'll reposition Hinoka using Spring Camilla. Okay. And now this Archer is next on the target list. We're just going to use Spring Camilla to go ahead and take him out right now. And we're in threat range, so we're going to reposition Spring Camilla back to safety. Now, something to be careful about here, Hinoka is actually still in threat range, and that is perfectly fine. This Sword Dragon is going to move to this position here on this turn, and is actually going. This Lance Knight is going to be using Guidance to teleport right here to attack Hinoka, and that's no problem. Hinoka can tank that, retaliate with a hit, and wear down his Wary Fighter and chip his health as well. So we'll just go back into T formation so that everybody is getting that Hone Flyers buff. Perfect. At this point, it's just cleanup. All we have to do now is use Spring Camilla to take out this Lance Knight.
Yes.
We'll use Summer Corrin to finish off the Sword Dragon. And we'll go ahead and take out Saias using Hinoka.
Yes.
Pretty easy. So there we have it. That's the strategy that I used to clear the Grand Hero Battle for Saias on Infernal. Not too bad. Really just to be mindful of some of the debuffs and the ploy skills that are at the enemy's disposal, as well as their tactic abilities, and just try to steer clear of those. So hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. I'd love to hear the strategies that you ended up using with your teams to clear the Infernal difficulty. As always, thank you so much for watching. We really, really appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.